Hello, all you wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. Welcome to another What's in the Vault. Before I get into today's item, I'd like to thank you all for continuing to check out my channel. I know I haven't been posting that often. Um, There's a lot of stuff I want to do on this channel besides ASMR, and I'm going to try to dip into that while still doing ASMR videos. My mind has a lot of things that I want to do, and it doesn't really make sense for me to have separate channels for this, so hopefully you all don't mind a variety of different videos that pop up on this channel. Anyways, I should get into what else is in my vault. So this is going to be a music thing. It's going to be of something that particularly it's not mainstream music, so I shouldn't say, but you more than likely probably will not know much about this band. So what I got here is a CD box set. It is for the Insane Clown Posse. I got so a little backstory about things. So my original CD music collection, I got rid of them I would say about 4 or 5 years ago or so. It's because, well, for one, all my CDs were in a CD holder. I no longer had the cases or booklets to them, and they were all scratched up, so I got rid of all my CDs completely and started rebuying from scratch. I figured this way I could get better quality CDs along with their case still and stuff. So I basically restarted a CD collection, and I've been trying to get my old CDs back whenever I can. So I did have a lot of, I'm going to refer to them as ICP just because it's easier to say. I had a lot of ICP CDs. This is a box set with their first 6 main albums as the Insane Clown Posse. So it's kind of odd how I got into listening to them. Because so back in this was around 2003 or something like that. It was definitely after I had gotten my first job, so around that time period, they was known as the most hated band, and I never listened to them up until that point. I was walking around at the mall at our I think it was a FYE type store or Sam Goodies or something like that. Had a bunch of different media stuff in there. So they had music CDs. Um, and I saw one of ICP CDs. And this was just on a whim, like I've heard of them, but it was really weird because at that point, I had not heard like, anything good about the band. All I really know is what the majority of people thought of them at the time period. So I decided to pick up the CD, which at that point in time, the one I saw was the Amazing Jekyll Brothers. And it was a rabbit hole I just continued down, and I think in my original collection I had like 11 CDs of theirs or something when I got rid of them. But like I said, I'm trying to build up an entire collection back there. Yeah, where my cat's looking. um, but yeah, I also want to get back the stuff that I listen to, because even if other people don't particularly like what I listen to, if I can find some enjoyment in it, then I'm gonna repick it up. But yeah, I just that after that backstory, I just want to show you guys this box set. Um, I got the box set is cool and all, but the reason I got it is because this was the most cost efficient way to get their first 6 CDs. Funny enough, because by the time you buy them separately on eBay or something, between what you would have to pay for the single CD and plus shipping and handling, and also you're not really sure, because not everybody takes pictures on eBay of the actual bottom of the CD to look to see how the scratches are on them. So this way I knew I was getting new CDs in this box set. So the box set was new when it came. It was completely shrink wrapped and stuff. But yeah, I just want to show you the outside of this. The first 6 referring to their first 6 albums, which they referred to as the 6 Joker's cards. They had a somewhat kind of story they were trying to tell through these mascots. On the back here, it is the name of the albums and all of the songs, and then you got a bonus album with this, which I have not listened to. So figure as I'm taking this off, I'll try to talk about the band as I just kind of what you can expect from them. Like, so it's pretty obvious from the I guess dark imagery. Gonna figure out a place to set this where the cat won't get into it. And so a lot of their songs revolve around, it's what is called today as like horrorcore rap. So a lot of their songs revolve around, like horror themed, and as they rap, they're telling these different horror stories, I guess you would call it. And so obviously not a lot of people are going to be into that. But even with that, they still have their serious song moments, but a lot of their songs is just them telling these stories about, in the horrorcore theme, about, well, murders and stuff like that. So you can't really take all their songs too seriously when it comes down to it, although some of it's pretty gruesome, I guess. Um, it's not something that I would personally take seriously. So, more items in here. You got this little sleeve. Has this little saying on the back, just, "There will be 6 faces of the dark carnival. After all 6 have risen, the end will consume us all." So that's kinda goes along with the theme of the story they're trying to provide over these Joker's cards. Then you get like these little tarot cards of each one. So there's a lot of information on the back. I know that's like way small writing to even be able to read it. But what it is mainly is it kind of loosely tells the story of each mascot and what the mascot is supposed to represent. I haven't looked too deeply into what each mascot is supposed to represent. Um, Perhaps if some people in the comments that come across this video and want to explain each one, feel free to. I won't be doing that here because I'm not the most knowledgeable of it, but I only know in general like what the story is they're trying to provide. You got the Carnival of Carnage. You have the Ringmaster. You have the Riddle Box. You have the Great Malenko. Just because I know a little bit more about what he's supposed to represent, he is supposed to represent like this being. So I believe, well, I don't know the exact representation of this, but I do know that it's if I was to compare it to something, it would you know what? No, I shouldn't get into this, especially if it's something I don't know 100% if I'm talking about. So, no. Just forget it. Let's move past that. The Amazing Jekyll Brothers, which on the CD case you see how the design is kind of split in half on the face. There was originally 2 designs of this. Their names were Jake and Jack Jekyll. And the face kind of shows what their face would look like if it was full, but it's split in half. And then you have the six Jokers card, which is the Wraith, which, if you think it just looks like kind of a Grim Reaper type, that's because that is pretty much what that represents. I realize I'm not moving through this too fast, but I figure I'll take my time with this. So it does have an actual certificate on that kind of certificate kind of paper. The kind that's, you can tell because the paper itself is kind of rigid and stuff. Certificate of Authenticity, the first six. We, the Insane Clown Posse, hereby declare that this collection represents the first full deck of Joker's cards from the Dark Carnival, and we wish the bearer of this certificate mad clown love. And you got signed below by Violent J and Shaggy 2 Dope. Which that is the which that is the names of the two people in the group. Then you got this, which nicely put on, it's on like real nice glossy paper, the first six, which it has this cool little effect that on the back it's kind of reversed so that it's kind of mirrors the front image. And what this is so on the front here you got this really long message, which is a message from Violent J, and it's mainly like a thank you message to the fans over the years and stuff, and that he was just, it's a message of his gratitude to all the fans. Then other things in this booklet, it's basically tells you each album and kind of gives a little story or whatever or stuff that kind of happened about that album. There's just really no good viewpoint I can do so that you could read this all. Because if I sat there and read every single thing in this box, this video would be like forever long. But I do want to at least show you the pictures and stuff. The Ringmaster. And because this is glossy paper, it's gonna have that reflection from my computer screen. But I will try my best. The Riddle Box. Hopefully the camera's picking it up well enough. Then we got the Great Malenko. The amazing Jekyll Brothers. And by the way, they do have somewhat kind of. They were also had a professional wrestling career as well. That was another one of their passions. Then you have the. Well, I kind of sped that up a bit, but. Then you have the Wraith Shangri-la. The sixth Joker's card kind of came in two parts. One being the Wraith Shangri-la, and the other being the Wraith Hell's Pit. This entire collection is dedicated to the butterfly. You got a bunch of looks like this is a bunch of fan pictures, I think. So on that note, I literally just got this in the mail the other day, but so Violent J, I believe he was the one that worded all of this. He was the one that wrote, at least I think, all the stuff in this booklet. The way he was describing, like the stories on some of the albums, like the behind the scenes kind of thing. I ended up picking up his book. I haven't got a chance to start to read it, but I do know it has a chapter about, well, there it is, the very start of chapter 1, the butterfly. I haven't got a chance to read this yet, so I can't tell you specifically what it is. So I'm not gonna try to. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to explain things that I don't fully know. That way I don't provide misinformation. But yeah. He wrote a book called Behind the Paint. And it even kind of has its own little custom. This is obviously the hardcover, but yeah. I wanted to show that while I was going through this. And then we got, so you got 8 CDs in here. All of them stacked in a row to, like, there's a set of 4 behind each of these, but it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you got the first one, ICB Carnival of Carnage, which you see my OBS screen that I'm recording from. That's just swell. Can I just... I wanted to try to find that angle where you could read things just fine, but it's going to be kind of hard with... can I... Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. There's the angle that we need. Even though there's that kind of blue tint. Then we got the CD itself. Carnival of Carnage. And we got the Ringmaster. Still trying to find that angle. Then got that. Obviously, all of these have the parental advisory thing due to, well, the subject matter of some of the songs and obviously the cursing. Though I would think the subject matter would be most people's first concern, other than the cursing. The riddle box. It's a little bit hard to see. So, on a side note, my old CDs, you notice how the first two looked a little different than this, right? Well, the CDs I had, I want to say they had the face on here like this. Yeah, I think they had the face kind of printed on there like this. So, them first two might be like reprints. I'm not really positive. So, what came to me in this one, there are 3 variants of the cover of this. I obviously got the more yellow kind of one, but there is a red one, or red purplish kind of instead of the yellow. And what was the other variant? Can't really remember. But this was considered their kind of first. This was considered kind of their first breakout album, if you want to call it a breakout. Like they were never mainstream or anything, but this it was their first one to, like, or maybe Riddlebox was their first one to start selling really well. Then you got the amazing Jekyll Brothers. This personally is Jack. So I can say that this specific CD was not the one I had. The one I had a red tinted case. And I think on the cover it was one of the 2 Jekyll Brothers, but my CD, you are bent back too far. My CD, it had both faces on each side of the disc for the amazing Jekyll Brothers. And then you got the Wraith Shangri-la, which is kind of hard because the hands in the book and the horns are all kind of a reflective kind of thing. And this one will be hard to read the names of the songs. This is actually the 2-disc set. Yeah, this pops around to there's a DVD, if I can get it. Oh, yeah, there we go. And then you got the Wraith Hell's Pit, which, just for YouTube's sake, I will cover up that word because it says that wicked curse word. So, out of respect for the viewers, some people just don't like to see cursing. And then within that, there was this little pamphlet. This was the version I had, I believe, that I actually bought, so that's kind of cool because it also, I remember this pamphlet. Like, I didn't remember it before looking through this, but I definitely had this because I remember the memories started coming back of me flipping through it when I first got the Wraith Hell's Pit. Which obviously, if you haven't put two and two together, the Wraith Shangri-la is like the more happy upside, if you want to call it that. They still sing about gruesome stuff, but this Hell's Pit was supposed to be like the more darker side, which it definitely provided that. Then you got the kind of the same kind of case. That's actually a bunch of fire, orange kind of fire, but you can't really see it with the red tint. And oh my, that red tint kinda, well, this does a better job at showing you the names of the songs. Though even so, it's still kinda hard to read. Yeah. Oh no, what was, oh yeah, 3D glasses. Because they, well, yeah, that's just it. The art on the fire, or the art on the CD, it's just flames. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, is that gonna flip over or is that gonna break? So, they released kind of a, they released kind of a short film slash music video for one of the songs on here. And when I say short film, it was short film in kind of the style of, in kind of the style that Michael Jackson did his videos. Like, there was a story being told in between beats of him actually singing part of the song. And that was the kind of short film they did. And so they released it on DVD with the CD. Let me go ahead. Oh no. Come on. Then we'll get it back in its sleeve. So, what I do with a lot of my CDs, they're all on a personal kind of, all on a personal kind of media server I have, so I can listen to it all without having to use the CDs. That way the CDs stay in good shape and such. So here's a little bonus CD. I don't know anything off this album. Like, I listened to all these albums over and over and over, so I know the songs on them. But this one, I just don't know. Don't know if it's a good or bad EP of theirs, so I guess I'll find out. But yeah, that is completely everything that was in this box set. Um, Obviously, ICP is not for everyone, but so I know I mentioned before that they were trying to tell like a story across all these first albums. And I may not know the story beats, but to me, anyways, if I break down to the very base moral of what they're trying to say in some of their songs, or at least the moral of what they were trying to the mess not the moral but the message they were trying to provide over the Joker's cards. Watch that. Um um so when I say this, I'm not speaking specifically when I say the word. Basically, I'm just trying to watch what I say because I don't want to start any debates or anything. Because me personally, I just listen to this for the entertainment. But the message they are providing is that everybody has to find kind everyone kind of makes their own path towards, well, meeting God, and the message is to just find your own way to um, find God, pretty much. That is the message that um, the cards are supposed to provide, or that was the down to the very simplistic core of their message. At least to me, anyways. But anyways, I thought I'd share that off, and thank you all for watching, and feels good to finally be making videos again. Have a great day.